Carmela, I think we found a couple of winners.
I think we have some new Sunday night dinner wines.
We do. So we are trying this wine called Valpolicella Ripasso. Now imagine, in the 1800s, you're a farmer and you had to give your best grapes to the landowner.
Oof.
And all you got was some leftovers from when he made his fancy wine, but you wanted to make your wine a little better.
Right. Somebody else's trash is another person's treasure.
And guess what? We found some treasure.
Woo!
So keep listening because we think we found a good way for you to spend $25 this week.
Yes, sir.
Hello, fellow sidevinders, and welcome to the Wine Pair Podcast. I'm Joe, your sommelier of reasonably priced wine, and this is my wife and my wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Hi there.
And we are the Wine Pair.
Woohoo!
If you're new to our podcast, here's what we do. Every week, we buy wines under $25 with our own money. We taste them and give you our totally honest opinion on whether they're worth buying. Nobody pays us to review specific wines. We don't accept free bottles from wineries, and we're not afraid to call out a bad wine when we taste one. Or a good one, I guess.
So true.
And Decanter Magazine calls us fun, irreverent,
Chatty,
and entertaining. So if that sounds like your vibe, then welcome to our tribe of wine lovers.
Nice.
Carmela, we're going back to Italy, another Italian wine adventure. That's right. And this time, we're heading to the beautiful area around the city of Verona.
Oh, Mike, we're going north.
We love Verona.
We're heading north. I love that.
And yes, we are talking about the same Verona that shows up in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet.
True.
It's an amazing city.
It is so beautiful.
Yeah, I mean,
we had a great time.
I still think about the opera that we saw in the arena there. 2,000 years old.
Okay, but what really were we thinking?
I don't know.
I mean, we had 3 kids under like 10.
I don't know.
No, maybe they weren't that young.
14, I think, was the young or
was
oldest.
the oldest, and it was long. But
they loved it.
They did it.
Yeah.
You know, it was perfect because during the 3rd act, our youngest just took a nap.
Yeah.
So,
and then woke up for the 4th and 5th acts. Okay. Anyway, the wine. Back to the wine. The wine we're drinking and reviewing today is called Valpolicella Ripasso, sometimes called Baby Amarone. And for some of you, that means a lot, and for some of you, that doesn't mean anything yet. And we're going to spend some time talking about the wines from the region like Amarone before we talk about what Ripasso means and the very specific, unique, and really fascinating technique that they use to make the wine, because it's kind of crazy.
Cool.
And for a quick Italian pronunciation lesson, because this really irks me when people get it wrong, and Americans get it wrong all the time, when you see a word in Italian with the letter C followed by an I or an E, the C is pronounced ch, like in Czech or cheese. So the word is Valpolicella, not Valpolicella.
Oh my.
Now, this is the same principle around the pronunciation of focaccia. It's not focaccia.
Right.
And on a similar note, when you see a word in Italian where the letter C is followed by an H, and this is really going to confuse you, the combination of CH is pronounced as a hard K sound, like in cook or clean.
Right.
So all of you
really had it right then. Was it the Italians or the Americans?
The Italians.
Okay.
So all of you who pronounce the word bruschetta as bruschetta, knock it off.
That's enough.
Okay?
That's
bruschetta.
enough.
It's bruschetta. Anyway,
Right.
Back to the wine again. Valpolicella Ripasso. Before we talk about how Valpolicella Ripasso is made and why it's so unique, let's just do a quick overview of the red wines they make in the Valpolicella area, because along with there being a quiz at the end of the episode,
Right.
it will actually be helpful when we talk about Ripasso.
Right. And those participation points are important.
That's right. The basic wine in the area is, yes, called Valpolicella. And in case you're wondering, in the Wayback Machine, we did an episode on Valpolicella, plain old Valpolicella. And yes, that is a different wine than the wine we're having today. It was actually our 3rd Italian wine adventure. So you can check that out if you're interested, because it may be a wine that you like if you like Pinot Noir or Gamay or wines like that. And, you know, you just search for it. Go to our website, do a search for it.
What adventure are we on now?
23.
What?
Exactly.
Wait, we've done 23 Italian wine adventures.
And there's a lot more to go.
And how many times have we actually been to Italy?
3? Okay, anyway, the two of us together have been there 3 times.
I'm just saying, and since we started the Italian wine adventures, we've been there once.
Okay. We'll make it. I'll make it up to you.
No problem.
Boy, this is
Just
really...
clarify. I'm just shocked. 23.
Okay. Can
Amazing.
I keep going?
Yes.
Okay. So regular old Valpolicella is the most basic, light, and accessible wine of the region. It's a lively, fragrant table wine. It has kind of sour cherry and herb flavors. Sometimes it's served slightly chilled. And if the grapes are grown in the original historical heart of the region, it's labeled as Classico. Just something to know.
Okay.
Then there's Valpolicella Superiore, which is kind of a step up in quality and structure from basic Valpolicella. To be called Superiore, the wine must be aged for at least 1 year and reach at least 12% alcohol. So there you go.
Okay.
Now, the next wine is Amarone della Valpolicella, sometimes just known as Amarone. And it's the most important one to remember when we get to Valpolicella Ripasso. So remember it.
Oh, my.
Put it in your brain box.
Amarone.
Remember this.
Got
Okay,
it.
it's super important.
Okay.
Now, it's a DOCG wine, which is the highest designation of wines in Italy. And that's, you see those little paper things on the Italian wine bottles. They say DOC or DOCG.
Right.
This is the highest of that, DOCG.
Okay.
Amarone is the region's most prestigious and powerful and full-bodied red wine. It's made using a very traditional method called appassimento, where the best grapes are left to dry for several months before fermentation. It kind of makes them into raisins almost. And what it does is it concentrates their sugars and flavors and makes a really rich wine. If you haven't had it, you should have it, but it's expensive. But remember that wine.
I won't forget.
Okay, and now this next one is also an important one to remember, but it's, it's similar. Okay, similar. But it's a dessert wine. It's called Ricciotto della Valpolicella. It's also a DOCG. And I should note, in case you are wondering, Valpolicella Superiore, and Valpolicella Ripasso are DOC wines, so they're just one designation down.
Okay.
But anyway, Ricciotto di Amarone is a sweet dessert wine that actually predates Amarone. It's old. It's old. And it's made using the same appassimento method as Amarone, but the winemakers deliberately stop the fermentation process before all the sugar can convert into alcohol because they want to leave some sugar in it because it's a sweet dessert wine,
Right.
okay? Sometimes people call it rich and velvety and with flavors of like dried maraschino cherries or maraschino cherries and spices. And it's supposed to be a great pairing for chocolate, blue cheese, those kinds of things.
Chocolate, blue cheese. It always just kind of sounds weird.
Well, I wouldn't do them together.
No,
wouldn't-
but it's I don't know, something that goes well with both chocolate and blue cheese.
Well, you know what? I don't know what I was going to say.
I don't know what you
I
were
was going to
gonna
say
say.
something really clever, but it didn't come out.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay, anyway, I mention all of these wines because first, as aspiring wine nerds, you guys need to know this shit, okay?
My God.
It's just what you need to know.
That's no
can't-
way to encourage,
You can't be a wine nerd unless you know this shit.
You're just shaming. That's what you're
I'm
doing.
not trying to shame them. I'm
Okay.
just letting them know. And again, this information would be really important when we learn about Valpolicella Ripasso in the next few minutes, because there's going to be a quiz. And we have 2 Valpolicella Ripasso wines that we're going to taste and review to see if they're worthy of your time and energy and if you should go out and buy them. But first,
You got to do our shameless plug.
that's so right. So thank you for listening to us and supporting our show. And just know that we buy all the wine we taste and review every week so that we can give you real and honest reviews. And if you like what you're hearing, please subscribe to our podcast and leave us a nice 5-star rating and review so we can grow listeners. And thanks to everybody who's done that. We also love to hear from you, and we always respond. So you can follow us on Instagram at The Wine Pair Podcast, and on Blue Sky. You can contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com. You can sign up for our email newsletter there, which comes out the first of every month, which is coming along. If you miss it, you can always send me a note. You can always send us a note anyways, anytime at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com. And, let us know what wines you want to review or what you're up to, what movies you're watching, whatever. We just like to chat it up.
We always like, some different recs.
We do. Sometimes people send us wine. Sometimes they send us other stuff.
I mean, movie recs.
No nudes, though. No nudes.
Hey, look, I'm talking movie recs.
Okay.
Movie recs, not reality TV, but, like series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but no nudes. Okay, anyway, and as we do every week, we'll tell you, if somebody sends me a nude, I'm going to be mad. We'll tell you someone. I shouldn't have said it.
Wow, right.
Okay, we'll tell you someone we think you should recommend the Wine Pair podcast to, because the best way for us to grow listeners is when you tell your family and friends about us, and I'm not sending you nudes either. And this week, we want you to recommend, and you wouldn't want them anyway, and this week, we want you to recommend us to anyone who's looking for a little more excitement in their life, because this wine may just be the spice that they need.
The spice of life.
The spice of life. Not the spice in Dune, but the spice of life.
Right.
Okay, Carmela, it's time to find out just what the Valpolicella Ripasso is, don't you think?
I think so.
Okay, well, like a lot of places in Italy and Europe, they've been making wine in the Valpolicella region for a long time. That's a technical term.
Right.
Viticulture in the region dates back to at least the time of the ancient Greeks. That's right. I said the Greeks. You're not that impressed, but that's,
right. I mean,
that's
you've said
old.
It probably before.
Okay. Now
No, I am impressed.
Yeah, it's impressive. The tradition of making wine from partially dried grapes that we've been talking about from this region was historically referred to as the Greco or Greek style. Now, by the time the Romans came along, this method of making wine from what are nearly raisins was well established to produce sweet and highly regarded wines called reticum, which are the ancestors of today's Recioto. So there's a little history to put in your brain box.
Love it.
After the Roman Empire fell, wine in the area was managed by monasteries, follow the monks if you want to find the alcohol, and feudal estates. But even during this quieter period, and I actually don't know if it's quieter, there's just not as much written history, it's probably pretty loud. Records show that people were still drying grapes to make wine. So the roots of Recioto, Appassimento, it never went away. By the 11th and 12th centuries, the name Valpolicella started to appear in documents. And when the Republic of Venice took over in the 1400s, things became more stable, more commercial. Noble families started building out estates. And the sweet, dried grape wines became something associated with wealth and special occasions. And in the 1600s and 1700s, farming texts described the same basic grapes that are used in the region today. So this way of making wine is very, very traditional in that area. It's kind of unique. It's not the only place where this style of wine is made, but it's really very particular to this area of Verona.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. Now, the 1800s brought big cultural and political changes, and then wine changes as well. And dry red wines rather than sweet wines in the style that is like modern Valpolicella became more common. And now Recioto didn't go away, but just dry wines started becoming more popular. And it was at this time that the Ripasso method was born. And that we're talking about Valpolicella Ripasso. Now, farmers at the time were forced to give the best half of their grapes to the wealthy landowners.
Oh, lame.
That kind of sucks.
To the wealthy landowners.
Well, not the poor landowners, because there weren't. If you owned land, you were wealthy.
Okay.
Anyway, and these a-holes, they used the best dried grapes to make Recioto. And so they
took all the credit.
They took all the fun. But you know what? Those Italians, they're crafty. And so although they were left with these inferior grapes, and the farmers started producing kind of weak and kind of crappy table wines. So to rescue these crappy table wines, these smart Italians, they invented the Ripasso method. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail just yet. I'll get there in a second, but you can kind of think of it like steeping weak wine like tea over the Recioto leftovers.
Do you think that's how they came up with house wine?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean, though?
I don't know, but I like that you just went somewhere totally off. Just went down a different...
I just was trying to think about,
your mind wandered and you were...
And I was also thinking of, the bad wine you'd see at Italian restaurants when we were growing up and, that were half covered in, what are the...
Wicker baskets.
Wicker baskets.
Those are
never knew.
Those bottles are actually called fiascos.
Okay, fiascos. Well, I mean, you kind of wonder where those grapes came from, what that wine was. I don't know. My mind did wander, okay?
Yeah, I'm glad you admitted it.
Okay.
Just remember this, though, Carmela. That leftover stuff from the Recioto is called pomace. Remember that.
Why do I have to remember all that?
I'm going to tell you why you need to remember it. Just hold on.
I've forgotten everything. Pomace.
Because we're getting to it. Now we're getting to it.
I just don't want to be quizzed.
I said there's gonna be a quiz.
I know you said that, but that's for the people.
Oh, not you. Okay, I like it.
Okay.
Now, first of all, the word ripasso in Italian means repast or to go over again. And that's a really important thing to drop into your brain box.
Okay.
Because ripasso is the technique that creates the unique structure and flavor of Valpolicella Ripasso. But before we get to that, we have to talk about Amarone. Remember I said you need to know about Amarone.
Right. And that's a special wine.
Right. And we're going to talk about why. Because again, Valpolicella Ripasso is often called baby Amarone. And that's an important clue.
Okay.
That's an important clue. It is not Amarone. It is Ripasso, but it is called baby Amarone. And there's a reason why. Bambino.
Oh, Bambino.
I don't know. Maybe it's Bambino. You might be right. Bambina.
Let the ladies live. Okay.
Girl power.
Right.
Okay, to make Amarone, winemakers pick the best bunches of grapes during harvest and they leave them in well-ventilated rooms or lofts for 3 to 4 months to dry out. Sound familiar? Mm-hmm. Okay, now as they rest, the grapes lose more than a third of their water and they shrivel up into half raisins. It's like, they get little anyway, this shrinking, it concentrates the sugars and the flavors and the tannins. And then what they do is they crush these shriveled up grapes, and they ferment them, and it produces a really rich and full-bodied wine with high alcohol and deep, complex flavors. Mm-hmm. And what's most important for our story is that the leftovers from the appassimento process, which that's called the appassimento process, is called pomace.
Oh.
That's what the leftovers are.
Okay.
And pomace is the grape skins, the seeds, the stems, and other vine detritus, that's what they call it, detritus, that remains after the fermented juice has been drained or pressed out. Oh. So now let's see how this brings us to Valpolicella Ripasso. So to make regular Valpolicella, winemakers create a still wine using grapes from the region. And remember this, we say this a lot, like a lot of European wines, Valpolicella is the name of the wine in the region, but there's no grape called Valpolicella. Mm-hmm. In this case, Valpolicella is a blend of grapes, and the most important grape, the one that you need to know, is called Corvina. And the wine is required to be 45% to 90% Corvina. Now that's a
big range.
It's a big range, but at least 45% has to be Corvina. And then there's another grape called Corvinone, and it's a relative of Corvina. It's like its cousin or something, and it can be used as a substitute for up to 50% of the Corvina requirement. Don't worry about the math.
Moly.
That's not on the quiz, okay?
Because we're not good at math. So.
No, we don't do that. Other important grapes that you might see in the blend are Rondinella and Molinara, although there's a bunch of different grapes that can be used in small amounts as well. Now, some of the wine made into Valpolicella is bottled as is and sold. That's the one we did the episode on way back when.
Okay.
But others are made into Valpolicella Ripasso. Now, remember that pomace that we talked about?
Right.
That's left over after making Amarone?
All the stuff, all the junk?
Yeah, well, the winemakers, they take this pomace, they put it into tanks, and they pour or repass
pour over.
That's right. They do a pour over.
Pump over.
Not a pump over, a pour over of Valpolicella directly over the pomace.
Oh.
It's kind of like making tea or making coffee, but
get it.
They get it.
Steep it, huh?
They steep it. That's exactly right.
Okay.
And because the leftover skins, this pomace still has unfermented sugars, tannins, and other fun stuff, combining them with the base wine actually triggers a second fermentation.
Wow.
So it ferments again.
Okay.
And this steeping process, as you said very well, where the wine is combined with the pomace, usually lasts between 3 to 15 days. After that, they drain everything off. The wine is aged in oak barrels for at least 6 months, but sometimes up to 24 months. And so they get a lot of complexity and flavor and richness that a regular Valpolicella does not have. Now, it's not as rich as an Amarone, but it is a rich wine, supposed to be super versatile with food because a lot of times it's still pretty high in acidity.
And it's probably not as expensive.
That's exactly right, because you kind of like jumped ahead. An Amarone will often be $80, $100 more because it's a very involved process. It's a very fancy wine. Valpolicella Ripasso, because we're doing it on the podcast, you can tell it's the cheap version or the less expensive version.
Affordable.
Thank you. The reasonably priced version.
Exactly.
Now, on a side note, there is a winery that's very famous from this region that you'll likely run into now that you're kind of got these wines in your head. And it's called Masi, M-A-S-I. And they have a really well-known wine that was actually the very first Valpolicella Ripasso wine ever released in the late 1950s, called Campofiore.
Oh.
And in fact, Masi had trademarked the term Ripasso.
Oh.
But then they lost a lawsuit. Remember lawsuits, because that's going to come up again in the podcast.
Oh,
they lost a lawsuit, and in 2006...
Is this wine in the news?
It is. In 2006, the term was open for others to use as long as they followed the right process and had the right quality.
I love a lawsuit.
No, don't you just love a lawsuit?
When it comes to wine.
I love it.
Wow.
Anyway, the Campofiore wine is no longer technically a Ripasso. It's actually called a Super Venetian. But it's still basically a Ripasso. And the Campofiore is reasonably priced, but the Masi Amarone is, again, like $80. But Carmela, I think that's enough information.
Okay, what wines are we drinking tonight?
That's so good that you finally know that that's what happens next. It only took over 200 episodes for you to not to wonder.
No, well, it's still going to wander, buddy. But the thing is...
When she says buddy, things are getting serious.
No. What I'm saying is I just don't want to steal your thunder. I could say the whole thing by now.
Oh, do it. That's your quiz. Okay. As usual, the wines are... No, I was going to try and... Okay.
No, again, I don't want to steal your thunder.
I know. This is my only joy in our marriage. Okay, as usual, the wines we have chosen for this episode are under $25, and they should be relatively easy to find because I bought them both at wine.com, and you should be able to find Valpolicella Ripasso anywhere they have a decent selection of Italian wines, but you'll have to search around more if you're at your local grocery store to see if they have it. If they do, you'll probably run into Masi, M-A-S-I, Masi Campofiore wine. That's the most likely one to run into. But as always, go to your local wine shop, ask the owner if they can help you, and they'll be happy to. So the first wine we're going to drink is the 2018 Guerrieri Rizzardi Pojega Ripasso della Valpolicella. Now that word Pojega is weird because there's no J in the Italian alphabet, but this word has a J in it. So it's very strange. So it must be, maybe it's from like a Spanish, because the name kind of sounds a little Spanish to me as well. It's a blend of 45% Corvina, 30% Corvinone, 15% Rondinella, and 10% Merlot. So that's kind of interesting. So you can see that you can use smaller amounts of lots of different grapes to still be called a Valpolicella Ripasso. According to the tech sheet, the grapes are hand-picked and hand-sorted, and then they destem the grapes and they ferment them for 10 days at 25 to 28 degrees Celsius. So that's about 77 degrees Fahrenheit, and they do it in stainless steel. Now, 77 degrees is actually a little warm for fermentation.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And so I had to look it up because it seems a little unusual, but it's not atypical for a Valpolicella Ripasso. They say the temperature, the warmer temperature helps the wine quickly extract the tannin and flavors without negatively impacting the grapes, like the acidity of the grapes. Okay. Now, after this first fermentation, they do a malolactic fermentation to tamp down on some of the acidity. And then the secondary fermentation technique of Ripasso happens, and the wine is aged for 12 months in Slavonian and French oak. They didn't say if it was new or old oak. I'm assuming it's new, but Slavonian oaks, you don't hear about that as much, but Slavonian and French oak are softer tasting than American oak.
Nice.
It's a dry wine that has basically zero residual sugar, but 14% alcohol. So you can expect these wines. Yeah, these wines are going to have...
knock you off your feet.
Yeah, I mean, like a regular Valpolicella is about 12%, because they ferment again, the Ripassos have higher alcohol. But they do say this wine can be served slightly chilled and can age for 2 to 6 years. So that's nice. Now, the Rizzardi family estate was established in 1649. It's in the Classico zone. And just know, again, that in Italian wine, Classico means the vineyard comes from what's considered the oldest and most representative area. Now, I'm not going to go into the long history of the Rizzardi family, but the Rizzardi and Guerrieri families, who combined in the 1700s, have been making wine for, again, as I mentioned before, the technical term, a long time.
Ooh, got it.
Yeah. Now, the next wine we're going to drink is the 2019 Michele Castellani San Michele Valpolicella Ripasso Classico Superiore.
Oh,
They
we
got
have
them
a
all
Michele.
They got Michele twice. They got Ripasso. They got Classico. They got
Right.
Superiore. And you'll see why it's called Superiore in a minute. This wine has gotten a lot of good reviews, a 90 from Wine Spectator, a 90 from Vinnius, and a 92 from Sucky James Suckling.
Jimmy, we haven't heard him in a little while.
I know.
Wow.
This wine is a blend of 60% Corvina, 30% Rondinella, and 10% Molinara. So it's a little bit more of a traditional blend than the first one. But it's, again, a good indication that you're going to have to learn what the blends are in the wines. Just know Corvina, that's the most important grape.
Okay.
This winery is also in the Classico area. It's just northwest of the town of Verona. It's like 15 minutes outside of that town.
Wow.
We didn't visit, but we should have.
No.
The winery says that the soil is clay and limestone, and they also crush, destem, and ferment at temperatures between 75 and 82 degrees Fahrenheit. So again, warm. Yeah. And they say the second fermentation is carried out on the pressed skins and pomace from Castellani's best Amarones. And then they age the wine for at least 2 years.
Oh, my goodness.
With 18 months in mid-size Slavonian and oak barrels and French wooden casks. So that's why it's Superiore, because it's longer on oak and aging before it's released.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of aging on this wine. So I would expect a little bit more depth.
I can relate
Yeah.
to the aging
And the depth.
perception.
Yeah, that's right. Now, there wasn't a ton else to find out about this wine. She has bad depth perception. So we're going to get to drinking. She has bad eyesight, which is why she married me. So if you have a Valpolicella Ripasso, please drink along with us. And by the way, we share at the end of every episode the next wines we're drinking, so you can do that with us. We think it's a fun way to participate in the podcast. Okay? In the pod. Just drink along with us and then send us your notes.
Right.
And we'll give you a sticker. We haven't said that for a long time.
Right. Do you need stickers, people?
We've got them.
We can send them.
We got a lot. Okay. Before we get to the tasting, we did want to take a quick break to tell you about something we think is a great event, and you can get discounted tickets to it. It's the Women in Wine Festival. It's presented by No Wine Left Behind, and it's happening March 8th at Les Deux Wines in New York City.
Wow.
It's being billed as the first completely blind wine tasting festival. It's multiple choice, so you don't have to be an expert to participate. It's kind of a judgment of Paris-style matchup with wines like Bordeaux versus New Jersey and Napa versus China, and the audience votes on the winner, and the top wine gets picked up by the shop, so your vote actually counts. And they're also bringing in Violet Grigich as a panel speaker, which is a really nice direct callback to the original 1976 The Judgment of Paris tasting. Every bottle, this is really important, every bottle at the event is made by women and poured by women, often by the winemakers themselves. And our listeners, you guys, you get 50% off of either session with the code The Wine Pair Podcast.
So cool.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
It's super cool.
Amazing.
So you can search for Women in Wine Festival Les Deux Wines on Eventbrite. You can use the link that we have in our show notes, or you can just send me an email at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com and I'll send it to you.
Perfect.
But with that, we're going to take a little break and we'll be right back and try our first wine. Okay, we are back and we are ready to try our first wine. It's the Guerrieri, Rizzardi, Pojega, Ripasso, della Valpolicella. These names they're a mouthful.
Amazing.
It's from Veneto, Italy. The vintage is 2018. It was $21.97 at wine.com. 14% alcohol. And again, 45% Corvina, 30% Corvinone, 15% Rondinella, and 10% Merlot. No professional ratings that I could find, but Vivino gave it a 3.8. Okay, so Carmela, let's talk about the color.
Well, I want to say it's nice. First I was like, it looks aged, but I don't think it looks like, sometimes those bottles, like especially ones that we drink with my dad.
Yeah.
Some of those wines are almost kind of brown.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of that, but not initially I thought it was more, but I think it's a nice color. It's not like super dark.
No.
It's dark, but it's not, mine's kind of a little bit see-through still, I think.
And I would say this is a 2018, so this is getting to about the end of the aging process. Like, it's about where you want it to be Probably, maybe. We'll see if it's a little over the edge, but I bet it's still going to be great.
What do you think about the color?
The color is purpley. It's kind of like this red, purple. It's nice color. It's kind of a deep burgundy red, I think.
Yeah, and a little bit of brown, just around the edges. Like a maroon kind of around the edges.
Maroon is good. Maroon is good. Yeah. Okay, well, let's smell it and see what we think.
Okay.
I'll say, first of all, it's super aromatic. Like, the smell comes out of the glass. You don't even have to put your nose in it.
Right.
This is what I would call like a blue fruit wine, like blueberries.
Oh, okay.
Plum, blackberry. It's kind of more of like a you say this, stewed fruit.
Yeah. It's rich.
Very rich.
Okay, blackberry too. Yeah, I'm getting blackberry.
You don't get I'm getting a little bit of like a blueberry jam or something, or blueberry pie. Somebody's doing their leaves out there.
Yeah. I mean, we're not even in March yet, and they're doing yard work.
Jeez.
For sure. But that's okay.
It's okay.
Keep up
Do
on
your
it.
thing. Make the neighborhood look good. Come on.
Totally. Yeah, I am getting some blueberry. Now that you say it, I don't know if I would have picked that out. I'm still getting some cherry on it, for sure.
But it's dark cherry.
Yes.
Like it's a rich, very ripe. It's very ripe smelling fruit.
Yes. And I'm also getting like some matchstick or like embers. Like it's a little bit smoky.
I feel like I'm getting a little bit of leather, like a little bit of shoe leather. We haven't smelled that in a while. Or coat, like a leather jacket.
Ooh,
kind of, that leather jacket smell, a brown leather jacket.
Oh,
no, I don't know.
I was like,
do you think different leather jackets?
My
smell
God, I was just going to ask you, like, really?
We should do a little study. If anybody knows out there, is there, does a brown leather jacket smell different than a red leather jacket?
Right, I wonder. I don't know.
It's very nice smell. I like it. Super pleasant. But it smells a little sweet, even though it doesn't have any sugar, like residual sugar. Well, do you want to try it and see what we think? All right, let's do it. Wow. I do think it's a little long in the tooth. I didn't open it too early. I opened the other one at the same time so it could breathe a little bit. I think it's a little long in the tooth, but it's...
Well, we're at 8 years now.
Yeah, but I like it. It's still got good fruit on the front. It's got a nice...
What makes you think it's long in the tooth? Like, what are you tasting?
It's thinning out. To me, it's kind of thinning out. The taste is thinning out a little bit. The grip of the tannin is going away. You can tell it has tannin, but kind of the grip of the
flatter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah. Well, and I want to say the smell is like richer than the taste. Like you almost in fact, there's almost a little bit of a tang that you wouldn't expect from a wine like this.
But you know what? Yes, I actually fully agree with you. Like almost like tart cherry on the front rather than a stewed cherry.
Right.
But to me, that means good acidity and really good with food.
True.
I think I think this wine would be killer with food.
Agree.
Let's not go there yet. But what other? I agree. Like I think blueberry. Like sometimes you get a little bit of a tart blueberry. I'm getting some of that as well.
I'm even getting a little raspberry on it. I don't know.
I like that. Do you get any, like, I was getting a little bit of brine on it too. Maybe a little olive, like those black olives.
Yes. And I almost wonder though if that's because it's a little bit older. Like it's, it's a little, because it doesn't have the full body that I was expecting from it, It's very nice. And like you said, I think with food, it's going to be really, really good. But yeah.
You know what else I feel like I'm getting is herbs. Like I almost feel like I'm getting a little oregano on it or something.
Yeah, a little bit.
Some of that?
Definitely. It's a little bit earthier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But herbs,
kind of liking it.
You are liking it.
I am. What food would you pair with this Guerrieri, Rizzardi, Pojega, Ripasso, della, Valpolicella?
Oh my. Gosh, I think this would be a great bolognese sauce.
I agree.
Really think it's a meaty sauce.
A ragu.
A ragu.
I had immediately in my head, maybe because it's Friday night, a pepperoni pizza. It would freaking kill.
It would be really nice.
It would kill.
Yeah, this would do really nice with pizzas, like a nice, rich tomato sauce pizza.
My God.
With the pepperoni. What about prosciutto?
Oh, prosciutto. I'm not as big of a prosciutto fan.
I love prosciutto.
I know you do.
I could do, you know what else this would be really good with?
Tell me, sister. Wow. She's not my sister. That'd be weird.
But like having a pizza with tomato sauce, mozzarella, prosciutto, and arugula. Because arugula's got that spice.
There's a little spice in this.
It's a little arugula like this. I'm kind of feeling you, because you were talking about herbs.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of peppery.
I like where you're going.
There's a little bit of an arugula earthy taste on this.
That arugula pepper, that spiciness of arugula, that is great.
And I do think that would taste really good with this.
I agree.
Even just an arugula salad with shaved parm.
Or blue cheese.
Oh.
Actually, it'd be really good with blue cheese.
It would be good. And dark chocolate.
No, not as well. I'd be okay, but I think blue cheese would be really nice with this. Like a blue cheeseburger. Oh, baby.
Whoa, a blue cheese.
My mouth just started watering. I said that.
I'm not really sure I could go down that road. I'd have a bite.
Don't be that way. Don't be
I'm not
judgy.
trying to yuck your yum,
Yeah,
babe.
Let's be positive here.
I'm truly not trying to yuck your yum.
What about, sometimes they do a little filet with a little blue cheese, like schmutzy on top. I don't know.
That sounds terrible.
I don't know what they call it.
What was that you just described?
Schmutzy. They put. Sometimes you go to these fancy restaurants on filet mignon. I said again, your mind wandered.
I was like, what, on a cracker?
No, sometimes you go to a fancy restaurant and they're like, well, you can have the steak, or you can have this sauce or that sauce, or the gremolata, or this or that, or the other thing. With a gremolata, this would be really good.
It'd be nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we like this wine. I like this wine, but let's rate it.
Okay.
As a reminder, on a rating scale, we rate on a scale of 1 to 10. We don't give half points. 7 and above means we would buy it. 4 or below means we're going to pour it down the sink. 5 or 6 means thank you for serving to us. We'll drink it, and we're happy to drink it, but we're not going to buy it. So, Carmela, what rating are you giving this wine?
Okay, so, I like it. I mean, I'm not red. These reds are big for me, for sure. But I'm going to give it a 7. I would absolutely buy it.
I'm giving it at least, I like that. A 7 is great. I'm giving it at least an 8.
Oh, and you're happy.
I am tempted to go higher. I think it is an excellent wine.
That is good to know.
Yeah, it's, and it's funny because it's this interesting combination. We tend to like lighter red wines, but the taste is very tart and kind of like that.
It's not a big fruit bomb.
No. And but the length and the depth of it has some elegance to it. So it's a really nice, rich wine. It's I'm
You think
really
my dad
enjoying
would like this?
I think he would.
Yeah, I think so too.
I know he likes an Amarone, but we haven't had one of those in a long time.
I know. What's happening?
I don't know.
Did he run out?
He probably did because he spent all his money on Barolo.
Right.
Okay, let's take a break and we're going to try our second wine.
Okay.
Okay, we're back and we're ready to try our second wine. This is the Michele, which is the name of our youngest son. Michele,
yes, it is.
Castellani, San Michele, Valpolicella Ripasso, Classico, Superiore. All of those, all in one. It's a very long name. From Veneto, Italy. It's a 2019 vintage. $24.97 at wine.com. Again, 14% alcohol. It's 60% Corvina, 30% Rondinella, 10% Molinara. And again, James Suckling gave it a 92. Wine Spectator gave it a 90, and Vinius gave it a 90 as well. I didn't find a Vivino score. But Carmela, let's look at the color. What do you think? Similar?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think it has as much brown or orange on it as the other one.
And I think it's maybe a hint darker.
Yeah, I think it's a little fresher looking.
Yeah,
to me.
It doesn't have the brown hue around the side.
Yeah, to me, it's actually very red, like
very
in the glass.
ruby.
Very ruby in the glass. Okay, well, let's smell it and see what we think.
This is different. I think it's a little different to me.
I agree. I'm not getting the same, strong aromas out of it.
No, but I'm getting, something like, I don't know if it's molasses. I'm kind of getting a little bit of a hint of molasses on it and smoke.
The first thing I got was spice.
Okay.
And so I'm with you. Spice and also like a perfumey, what's that smell? Like patchouli, almost patchouli kind of smell.
Yeah. Oh, like incensey?
Yes, incensey.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It does have a little hint of a little something like that.
Yeah. Like you went to a Dead concert and people haven't bathed in a while, but they sprayed that patchouli all over themselves.
And you just can't tell the difference, but you can tell the difference.
You can, because there's a little funk behind it.
You are like, wow, you smell kind of good.
Kind of good, but maybe you're hiding some funk.
But there's something else on it, though. Maybe I'm just getting that. But there is a little bit of incense patchouli on it now that I can't erase.
You can't get rid of it. It's a dark fruit in there. It's like a spicy blackberry jam. It's figgy. It's kind of like spicy fig Newton.
Yeah, it is. All of these things are totally working for me. It is
dried
kind of
fruits.
a molasses for me, like
molasses is good.
Or like prune.
Dried figs.
Yeah, dried figs.
raisin. It's dried fruit. You smell dried fruit.
But like dark fruit. Like that. Yeah.
Nice, rich.
Yeah, it's very rich. It's something, I mean, even like molasses, but also like a castor oil or something. I don't know.
A little medicine-y?
Yeah,
You're getting a little medicine-y?
I don't even know what castor oil. I've never had castor oil. But
I think you're just getting a little bit of a medicine-y kind of eucalyptus-y kind of smell.
Exactly. A little medicinal.
Well, I think we taste it.
Yeah, we best.
Okay.
Ooh. Wow.
It's got a little bit more tannin on it.
Not a ton of like fruit.
Not a lot of fruit.
No. But tannins, yes.
A lot of acidity. It's almost like, again, the taste is not quite where the smell was. Like, I'm getting more like red raspberry, like crunchy red fruit on the front and like on the taste of it. It's got an interesting, this is totally wine dork language, but it's got an interesting mid palate. It kind of falls out at the end, but like the front is really like tart fruit. The middle is more of that patchouli, and then it kind of drops off.
Yeah. It's just kind of unusual.
It's kind of got that lingering spice, though.
I wouldn't say it's super, like, doesn't like have a ton of complexity. Or it's a little bit thin for what I thought it was going to be.
Okay, well, kind of swish it around your mouth because I agree. The fruit is kind of a thin cherry or raspberry kind of front. But the mid, it keeps a lot of spice. It has this really rich, lingering kind of spice, fig Newton-y, like rich.
Even
like,
peppery, like a white pepper.
You know what I was thinking of? It's like medieval spices.
Like, when we made...
like a mulled wine. When we put
mold,
like,
M-U-L-L-E-D.
Yeah, mold, not mold, mulled. Like we put star anise, orange, a little bit of that.
Okay. That it does, because those ones too, you think are going to be very rich, but they're not, because they're steeped in all of that, but they're not always so rich.
Yeah, I agree.
Does that make sense?
Totally.
I don't know. Yeah.
I do think, again, it's a 2019. It may be a year past its prime. Like, I just wonder if we had it a year or two ago, if it would have been
lost a little bit of its umph.
I think the tannins dropping off on both of these wines feels to me like something's been lost in the age. But it's a nice wine. What food would you pair with it?
Well, I think a lot of the same. I think it would be really nice with food.
Yeah, I agree. It's very acidy. It's good with, like, great with pastas.
Right.
Great with breads.
Even like an eggplant parmesan. Even chicken parmesan, but I do think you could do like a. We don't do this a lot, but like a meaty lasagna would be good.
Would be really good. Grilled pizzas. I went like the last one I was saying like a blue cheese burger. I don't know that I'd do that with this one. It's a little bit less about saucy, like white saucy stuff, and more about rich like red sauces. Like a really nice deep marinara sauce would be awesome.
Yes, be very nice. And good Sunday night dinner wines. It
is. They're really. These are nice wines. These are really nice wines. Well, let's rate this one, and then I think I'm going to change the rating on my first one.
Okay.
I'm going to a 9 on the first one. My
goodness.
I just really like it.
You really do, honey.
What are you going to give this one?
I'm going to stick with a 7 on this one too.
Yeah, sorry.
I think I like the other one a skosh more.
Skoshi.
I know you like to say that word,
it's
actually.
A Japanese word.
But okay, I'm going to give it a 7.
I'm giving this one a 7 as well. It's nice. I would buy it. I would serve it. I like it a lot. I just think the first one was just better. I just think it was superior.
I think so too.
Richer. I just like it. So, which wine are you finishing tonight?
I think we're both going for numero uno.
That's right. The Guerrieri Rizzardi Pojega, which is such a weird name. It's so interesting. Okay, let's talk about the taste profiles and see if we nail them, Carmela.
Let's see.
In general, a Valpolicella Ripasso will be medium to full-bodied. See, I think these were maybe medium-bodied, but they kind of are starting to lose some body. Somebody. Okay, black fruits like sour cherry, sweet black cherry, plum, blackberry, blackcurrant, and wild strawberry. We're getting some of that. Dried fruits, for sure. Cinnamon, clove, black pepper, paprika. That's a good one. Chocolate, vanilla, leather, tobacco, cedar, earth, bay leaf. Balsamic. And firm
balsamic's good.
Yeah, I agree. Firm but smooth tannins. Okay. So I think the tannins were smooth but starting to soften out. I couldn't find a lot of reviews for the Guerrieri, so I just have the winery. It says, plenty of dark berried fruit and subtle sweet spices. That's what they say.
Oh, okay.
That's it, which is the one we like the best. So a lot of the flavors, we don't have the way to like kind of compare them. The Castellani, there's a lot. The winery says aromas of blackberries, fruit in syrup, notes of leather, cedar, and spices. I think we were getting more leather on the first one.
Agree.
Slightly tannic. I agree. It wasn't super tannic, but it had a nice tannic with a spicy and persistent finish. I agree with that. Remember I was saying like that lingering spicy taste.
Right.
James Suckling says a tightly packed nose of plums, cherries, and incense.
Okay, see, that's what we were getting.
Yep. Jamie Sucky, you did it okay. Following through to an equally compact, medium-bodied palate with intense flavor and tight, firm tannin. Wine Spectator says a polished red that layers creamy tannins. With aromas and flavors of fig cake.
Oh, wow.
Sun-dried,
the fig.
Yep, sun-dried black cherry, eucalyptus,
okay,
and black olive. We were getting that on the first one.
Right, but the eucalyptus was, I think, on the
You
second.
totally said eucalyptus.
Well, I didn't say eucalyptus. You did.
You said medicinal.
Right.
Yeah. Medium-bodied and well-knit with hints of espresso and licorice.
Okay.
Vinius said alluring bouquet of sweet roses and bright cherries complemented by a hint of candied orange. No, that's mulled wine.
Right.
Candied orange.
Okay.
Not candied, but you put orange in there.
Right.
Round and supple, yet energetic with ripe red fruits, I agree, balanced with a core of brisk acidity, earth tones, and savory spice.
Wow, lots there.
Yeah.
Holy cow, what did they miss?
I don't know. But what's your verdict, Carmela?
I like it. I mean, I love the fact that you like it so much, too.
That's really nice.
Of course. So I think we're going to be enjoying more of this for sure. And I just think, again, it's a great Sunday night dinner wine, like a family wine. And it's got a nice balance of like elegance and also, again, like, homey, welcoming, yummy wine, too.
Totally agree. Great wine. Great wines. We've had Valpolicella, but we haven't had the Ripasso very often, and I think it's on the list again.
Yeah.
Like I need to be drinking more of this wine. It's really nice. It's just that right blend for me of like that tart fruitiness, like you might get in a Pinot with a little bit of warmth on it. It's really nice. Okay, Carmela, now it's time to head over to our news desk because we've done the wine, we've done the tasting. We saw how we did with the tasting notes. And remember I said taxes? And it's coming up.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Wine in the news this week. Our wine in the news this week comes from author Mitch Frank from the Wine Spectator, and it is called U.S. Supreme Court Strikes Down Trump Tariffs on Imported Wine.
Whoa.
And I've got links to the articles that in our show notes if you want to dig deeper. But most of you already know about the fact that the Supreme Court ruled against the Trump administration's tariffs. But we're going to talk about how wine was at the center of the lawsuit.
Oh my.
Did you know that?
I didn't. Did you?
Yes. So listen to this. About a year ago, you already know this part, the federal government imposed these sweeping emergency tariffs on imported goods, and wine was really impacted. When you factor in things like the supply chain from the importer to the distributor to the retailer, even a winemaker, some estimates had retail prices going up 50% or more on imported wines.
Wow.
And for us on our podcast, we're trying to keep the wines cheap and good. That screws things up.
Right.
But what may be the lost part of the story is it wasn't the big guys who raised the lawsuit. It was a guy named Victor Schwartz. He runs a small wine importing company in New York called Voss Selections, and he was feeling the pinch of the tariffs. So what his company does is they bring in wines and spirits from 16 countries all over the world. And these businesses, they run on thin margins. So when the tariffs hit, it really hit him in the pocketbook, right in the gut, right? Oof. So he decided to do something about it. He sued the president and the administration.
Amazing.
And as we know, it went all the way to the Supreme Court.
Love it.
Yes. The legal argument was kind of simple. The administration had been using a 1977 emergency powers law called IEPA, which stands for the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, to impose their tariffs. That's what they did. But the law was designed for national security emergencies, not for wine, okay? The decision that the Supreme Court made was that the Constitution is pretty clear that imposing taxes and tariffs, that power belongs to Congress. Mm-hmm. So on February 20th, the Supreme Court ruled 6-3 that those tariffs were unconstitutional. Now, of course, in the next couple of hours, the president said, hey, tariffs are back on. So he's using other laws to put on tariffs. But here's what I actually want you to take away from this story in terms of why we're talking about it on our podcast. It's a wine story in many ways. Victor Schwartz, he did this to save his wine importing business, and he has actually paid the price for bringing a lawsuit. He's had a lot of threats against him. He has to he keeps his office doors locked now at his office. And this matters to us for a variety of reasons, but not the least of which because we believe wine is food.
Right.
And it's a central part of not just enjoying life, but also understanding the world.
Right.
We go out of our way in this podcast to find wines that are reasonably priced from everywhere, not just America, but from all over the world. Mm-hmm. Perfect example is today. And we started this podcast because we think wine education and wine knowledge should be accessible and not limited to those who have the right income or the right credentials. And so the wines we share with you, they're under $25. They're often made by small producers all over the world. And they get to us because of people like Victor Schwartz, who make it their life's work to bring things into the country, to import things that we enjoy. And because of the small family-owned farmers and winemakers who just want to make a living selling the craft of their hands. Right. And tariffs make it harder for those businesses to survive and for people to find and afford and enjoy wine. So
love it.
Cheers to Victor. Not all heroes wear capes. And now the story's not over, but it's nice to see the little guy win every once in a while.
It's important.
You have any thoughts about this, Carmela?
No, I just love it all. I love everything you said, and I agree, and it's important.
And did you know wine was at the center of it?
I didn't, but of course you did. You've been following wine in the news.
It's kind of true. I mean, it's true. But it's kind of cool that wine was part of the story of it.
I love it.
Okay, we're going to get to now some listener shout-outs. We have some fun listener shout-outs this week, and we always appreciate it when you reach out to us and tell us what you think, what you're drinking. So here's some shout-outs. Hassini, who shared the class notes with us that she received from her wine class in the Loire Valley. So thanks for that, Hassini.
So cool.
Isn't that nice? It was super nice. And then Jared, who reached out to ask us what was worse, the Trader Joe's Pumpkin Spice Chardonnay or the Meiomi.
Oh my gosh.
I told him I thought it was the Meiomi.
Oof.
Only because we didn't expect much from the Chardonnay.
Right.
But a Pinot Noir,
I mean,
we have expectations about that.
I agree.
And he also said we should do more Portuguese wine. And since we're headed to Portugal, we're going to do that.
We sure will.
When we come back from Portugal, we'll have a couple of Portuguese wines to do.
Fun.
So thanks for that, Jared. And again, wines coming up in future episodes. In case you want to drink along with us, you can always find these in our show notes with links and names and years and everything of the specific wines. We're going to do Lebanese wines. We're going to do Pet Nat. We're going to do German Riesling. We're going to do Zino Mavro, Portuguese wines from Alentejo. We're going to do White Rioja, specifically Verona. I don't know if you knew they make White Rioja, but they do. And then we're going to do a high QPR Pinot Noir. We're going to try an Oregon Pinot Noir that's under $25 that was like super highly rated.
Oh, nice.
And we're going to compare it to a wine that's twice as expensive, also from Oregon. So this will be interesting. We're going to do like a $25 wine and a $50 wine to see if we can tell the difference.
You can't tell. I mean, you can't tell like what the price is until we taste them.
Oh, well, I might have already screwed up, but that's okay.
Did you already say?
Maybe I'll make it blind for you.
Oh boy,
and see what you think. Okay,
but you already know, obviously, because you bought them. I get it.
Anyway, but that'll be fun though. I think to just see if we can tell the difference.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for listening to us and supporting our show. And remember, we buy all of our own wine and we do all the writing and recording and editing to bring you a show every week because we absolutely love doing it. And our small, little, tiny ask of you is that you please follow or subscribe to our podcast and leave us a nice 5-star rating and review to help us grow listeners. And again, a huge thank you to all of you who have done that already. Please follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at The Wine Pair Podcast. Contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com. Sign up for our newsletter and visit our Shop Wine section where you can find links to buy the wines that we rate as buys in every episode. And we love to make content that you care about and you like, so send us a note or DM us or follow us around our house or, stalk us. You can stalk us. Okay, don't do that. Give us some feedback. Let us know if there's wines you want. Don't send us nudes either. Let us know if there's wines you want us to try or winemaking areas of the world that you're curious about, and we'll take care of it. You can email us, no nudes, at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com. But with that, we're going to sign off. Carmela's giving me that look. So thank you once again. We'll see you next time. And as we like to say, life is short, so stop drinking shitty wine. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And the happy ending at the end of our story. Always think too much. Always drink too much. Always pray too much. Always play too much. And when I'm with you too much, I fall in love too much. And when I'm away too much,